Namaskaram students. Today I am going to explain the same topic, tools for genetic engineering. In the last class, we discussed about the restriction enzymes. The second part for the tool of genetic engineering is vectors. Vector is a small DNA fragment capable of self-replicating. What do you mean by replicating? That is capable of multiplying themselves. So we have to call it as self-replicating. So vector is a small fragment of DNA capable of self-replication in which our gene of interest is going to be inserted into the vectors, helpful for the transmission. So this vector is also called as carriers or cloning vehicles. A very important remark, cloning vehicles. It is nothing but a vector responsible of transferring our gene of interest into the host organism. There are two types of vectors based upon the function. One is called the cloning vector and the second one is the expression vector. Let's see the first one, cloning vector. Cloning vector, it is responsible for producing our gene of interest. This is nothing but the proteins which are produced in the multiple corpus. So large amount of production of desired gene with the help of cloning vectors. And second type of vector is called as expression vector. Expression means it is showing something out. That's called the expression. Here also in genetic engineering, our gene of interest is inserted or not can be verified by means of the vector is called as the expression vector. Mostly while you are learning, if it's a one word or two mark question answers, instead of using the black color pen, you are marking some of the fluorescent marker. Then after your revision time, during your revision time, if you are observing the paper, you are finding out it is a very important question. Then you can give some more concentration. So that color is giving some appearance to learn. The same thing, our gene of interest along with that some of the fluorescent dye is added to show gene is inserted or not. So that is called as expression vector. So these are two types of vector. Next we are move on to what are the properties of vector. The first property is the size. If the vector is very larger in size, is it possible to insert into the host organism? Certainly not. The size of the vector should be very, very low. It has below the molecular weight of 10 kilo base pair. So it is small in size and it has the low molecular weight which occupies less than 10 kilo base. So it has the ability to enter the host cell easily into the organism. And second feature is called as a ORIG. O refers origin, R refers replication and I refers the insertion. So this is nothing but the origin of replication of insertion genes. This is called as a ORIG. So whenever you want to run any machine, we have to first switch on the machine. Similarly, our gene of interest will be inserted. They have some operator gene. That operator gene is called as the ORIG. Again I am saying ORIG. It is the replication capable of independently work within the host cell. So wherever the genes which is inserted, that gene should be having the ORIG. This is nothing but the origin of it. It is nothing but initiation process. And next is called the suitable marker. I already said about the expression. Both are the same mark. Suitable marker. In addition to the ORIG, some genes which is inserted or it is not inserted, that can be verified by means of the marker called as a suitable marker. And last, where we have to go to insert the gene. Just think about this is the ductal cell. If you want, here we can insert, here we can insert. Randomly it is not possible to insert the gene of our interest in the ductal cell or any other organism. So we have one recognition, this is the particular place. In this space alone we have to insert our gene. If we are instead of this space, if you are inserted the gene it is not be accepted by the host organism. So this is called as a recognition site or restriction site or target site. In this place alone we have to insert our gene. If in case some other places if you are keen means it is not possible to transfer the DNA. So these are the four main steps which are involved in the properties of genetical engineering. Let's see in detail about the requirement of vectors. I already said, just imagine this is the plasmid derived from the bacteria name is E. coli. Whatever the organism, we have a starting point. The starting point is called as the ORIG, that is the origin of replication genes. In addition to that, they have the suitable marker, what I already explained. So depending upon the marker, it should be antibiotic resistant. marker always be the antibiotic resistant gene. It may be ampicillin or tetracycline or some antibiotic is going to be inserted. After that, we are going to choose whether it is inserted or not. Going to check with the suitable marker. And the place where we are going to be insert is called as a restriction site or recognition site. So this is the requirement of the vector. Each vector has the origin of replication. This is nothing but a small piece of DNA responsible for the origin space. And where our going to gene is inserted or not, going to choose with the help of the marker. And last recognition site, our gene of interest is going to be inserted. Next we are going to see the types of vector. There are three types of vectors belongs to the cloning vector, in which first one is called as a plasmid. So plasmid, just think about this is the bacteria cell. The name of the bacteria is E. coli. Every E. coli cell they have their own chromosome. In addition to that, they have one double-stranded DNA. This is called the extra chromosomal structure called as plasmid. So our gene of interest we are going to insert in the plasmid. So this is one type of vector is commonly used in the biotechnological process. Plasmid is an extra chromosomal DNA made up of double-stranded circular DNA structure. It is mainly responsible for genetic information going to transfer. Most of the biotechnologies they are preferring such kind of the plasmid. For example, PBR322. It has 436 base pairs genes, in which our gene of interest is going to be inserted. In particular gene means the site will be transferred from one organism to another organism. So why it is given the name BR? B refers the Bolivar and R refers the Rodriguez. These are the two scientists discovered this bacteria plasmid. So on behalf of their name, they are classified as PBR. P refers the plasmid and B and R the persons who discovered the plasmid name. And 322. Totally start from 1 to 322 strains of bacteria they are analyzed. Out of all the 322 have the large amount of genes. So they are choosing this plasmid is responsible for genetic engineering process. This is a widely used plasmid still now. 322 refers number of plasmids which is present. And second type of plasmid is called as the TI plasmid, that is tumor inducing plasmid. This plasmid mostly we can see in the dicotyledon plants, especially where it can grow is in the soil having the large amount of the nutrients and different types of mineral particles. Example, tomato and some other dicot plants. The name of the organism, Agrobacterium tumefaciens. This is the soil bacterium which is present and it has go into the dicot plant and causes the tumor. Tumor means cancer causing substances which causes the death of the plant. So scientists what they are thinking here, instead of tumor, if the tumors are removed means in between there some gap is there no. In that gap our gene of insert to be inserted means the plant is not be dead. As a time our gene of interest is also inserted into the bacterial cell. So here the death of the organism is also stopped. Our gene of insert also going to be inserted. So two dual purposes are happening in the tumor inducing plasmid. So tumor inducing plasmid in which the organism name is Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Mainly it is responsible for causing the tumor. And this tumor gene if you are replaced into our targeted gene is called as a tDNA, that is a transfer DNA. This is called as a vulnerable gene responsible for causing the tumor. If we are removing the tumor gene, in that place, we are going to insert our target gene. As a result, there is no tumor. In addition, our gene is also going to be added here, so that we are called as tDNA, that is a transfer DNA. Tumor DNA, now it is replaced as the transfer DNA. It has the origin, selectable marker and different types of recognition sites. Most of the scientists, next to the plasmid, they are using the Agrobacterium tumefaciens in the genetic engineering process. And next type of vector is called as the transposons. It is also called as the mobile elements or jumping genes. So far we are seeing about the target, but in this particular vector, our gene of interest, it should be inserted anywhere wherever we can like. So there no need of any target location. Wherever we need, we can be inserted a gene. So that they are called as a jumping gene or mobile genes. This is commonly we can see in the maize plants. The one first carried out the transposons are Barbara McClintock. It is mainly used for the protein functions as well as different types of amino acid preparations. Again, when we calling the transposons form, it is also called as mobile elements or walking genes or jumping genes. Here, our DNA sequences able to insert itself in any location without the formation of targeted genes. So wherever they need, they can be inserted in the particular area is called as the transposons. And next class we are going to see about the expression. Already I said expression means the gene of our interest, that's the foreign gene, is expressed or not by means of some signaling mechanism. It should be in the mRNA process called as a transcription, otherwise in the translation process, otherwise in the later protein productions. Wherever the gene is inserted, in any places if you are identified, the gene is inserted or not, to be checked by means of the vector called as expression vector. Then afterward, we can finalize the host cell having our genes or not. Commonly we are using the one gene of interest to the expression vector is.
Next we are going to see how the cloned rDNA is inserted into the host cells. The host cells may be E. coli, yeast or even animal and plant cells. And majority they are using E. coli is the predominant structures because it is easy to handle and grow in a safety manner. Moreover, it can be divided within 20 minutes. So, mostly preferable organism is E. coli. This E. coli, the DNA of our interest, that is the rDNA, is inserted into the host cell. It is very fast, within 20 minutes it can multiply. Moreover, the E. coli structure having the DNA structure is made up of sugar and phosphate molecules. The nitrogenous bases have the hydrogen bonds. So, it is a highly hydrophilic molecules. It cannot allow the other structure to enter into the cell membrane. In order to make the bacteria cells to take our gene of interest, first it should be copied with treating with some chemicals such as divalent calcium. After that, it can enhance the effective recombinant DNA into the host cells, it creating some pores inside that. After it is introduced into the cell, it should be incubated with the cooling surface. rDNA is interacted with the cool ice conditions, which was immediately replaced by high temperature of 42 degrees Celsius. Again, they are put back into the ice. This helps the bacteria to take the rDNA techniques. So, our gene of interest is inserted here in girls. So far we discussed about tools for genetic engineering such as enzymes, vectors and competent cell. This is nothing but how the insertion of rDNA into the host cells. Now the gene of interest is inserted into the host cells. Next step we have to see and how the rDNA technology which is present in the host cell is transferred or delivered into the plant cells. So this is the topic. Next we are going to see, that is methods of gene transfer. The DNA molecules is introduced into the suitable host cells by means of some vectors. Through the vectors, the genes is delivered into the plant cell. Before that, the vector has some of the basic requirement such as it has the 3 different types of genes. They are promoter, that is the initiator, and a terminator. Terminator means stop. The process going to stop is called as a terminator and directly delivered into the restriction site. So these are the 3 genes are recurring before the delivering of the host cell into the plant cells. Again I am saying now, method of gene transfer, we are choosing the plant's requirement by using the vectors. The vector has some common necessary characters such as promoter, terminator and deliver the genes into the host cells. There are two types of vectors or commonly we are using. One is a direct vector and another one is called as a indirect vector. Direct vector, what it means? Alien gene or foreign gene of our interest is delivered into the host cell without using any kind of carrier or vector or agent. Such a type of gene transfer is called as direct gene transfer. So here we didn't use any kind of the organism, directly we are inserting the gene of interest into the host cell. Such a type of transfer is called as direct gene transfer or vectorless gene transfer. Whereas in the second type, indirect or vector gene transfer, it is also called as mediated gene transfer. Here our gene of interest is delivered into the host cell by using some vectors or some agents or carriers. Through something we are going to transfer the materials to the host organism. So we have to call this indirect or vector mediated transfer. Let us see in detail about direct or vectorless gene transfer. I already said here they are using vectors or they are not using the vectors. It is a type of transfer. The gene is directly entering into the host organism without the use of any agents. Further, they are classified into three types. They are physical transfer, chemical transfer and DNA imbibition. Imbibition means uptaking of the DNA as it is. These are the three different types of vector-less gene transfer. Let us see one by one. First one is called as a chemical mediated gene transfer. By using some chemicals such as polyethylene glycol and dextran sulfate, calcium chloride and liposome. So these are the different chemicals we are forcing or we are introducing into the host cell. As a result, the DNA can uptake into the plant protoplast. So by using some chemical agents, we are inducing the DNA to take the desired gene of interest in the plant cells. This is called as a chemical method. And let's move on to the physical method. It is divided into three types. They are electroporation, microinjection and biolistic. Let's see the first one, electroporation. What do you mean by electro? That means applying some electrical field. Poration means some pores. If you observe the picture, the cell wall which is seen in the first diagram, it is fully covered. Whereas in the second one, it is interrupted here and there. Because when the outer charge electrical field is applied on the cell wall as well as the plasma membrane, it makes a temporary pore. So through the pore, our gene of interest is inserted into the host cell. So that we have to call as a electroporation. And second method is called as a microinjection. Micro means it's a very smaller in size. So through the injection, directly we are inserting the gene of our interest into the host organism. And this is called as the third one, biolistic. It is also called as a gene gun method. Here also our gene, alien foreign gene, is coated with the minute tungsten or gold particles. It is looking like something small DNA molecule is coated with the overcoated with the different types of chemicals, especially the gold particles or tungsten particles. So this bounded or bombarded particles can be grow into the selected medium to regenerate the plant tissues from the transferred cells. So these are the biolistic methods. And in addition to that, indirect method also we are going to see by using some agents. The agents may be either, last class we discussed about the tumor inducing plasmid by means of the Agrobacterium tumefaciens as well as tobacco mosaic virus. So the chemical, physical and vectors, these are the different agents is responsible for transferring our alien or foreign gene into the host cell. Let us see again. Physical transformation, chemical and DNA bombardment or DNA imbibitions, biological, Agrobacterium tumefaciens, Agrobacterium rhizogenus and plant virus. Out of these three, physical, chemical and DNA molecules are direct or vectorless. Here directly gene is transferred into the host organism. Whereas last one, biological, we are using the agents or vectors or carriers delivering the gene of interest through the agents. So we have to call as the vector or mediated gene transfer. Vector or virus mediated gene transfer. It's also called as the indirect transfer. Let us see the first one, direct or vectorless gene transfer. It is a method our gene of interest is delivered into the host cell without using the vectors. The first method is called as a chemical method. I already said two types of chemical. One is called as the PEG, that is polyethylene glycol. Note down the very important one word ma. Polyethylene glycol and dextran sulfate. We are added into that cell. It has the competent to take the DNA into the plant protoplast. And next is called as the micro injection. Here the DNA is directly injected into the nucleus with a fine tipped glass needle or micropipette, which is helpful for the transforming the plant cells. Here the protoplast are immobilized on the solid support called as the agarose gel material. This is nothing but whatever the gene our interest is transferred into the plant cell, first it should be added with some of the agarose or chemical substances so that it is easily binded by the injection particles. With the help of the micro needles, we are directly injecting into the host organism. Let us observe it in detail more. Micro injection, this is nothing but the ordinary injection what we are using in the hospitals. Just inside the syringe, if you are seeing the red color called as our gene of interest is the plasmid DNA, is directly inserted into the host nucleus materials. These are the different types of pictures which is representing the micro injection particles. The next process is called as the electroporation. So I already said high voltage of electrical field is applied to the protoplast or cells or tissues. This makes a temporary holes in the plasma membrane. As a result, the entry of the DNA, it is easily entering into the host cell. Just observe the picture, electroporation. Inside the cell, positive charge which is present here and there. Whereas, after introducing the high voltage of charged particles, the cell membrane can produce some of the temporary holes which can be seen in the second diagram. As a result, the outer particles of the genes, because of the charged particles, positive charge forcing to go in the opposite direction, this can attract the negative charge particles. As a result, the DNA of our interest can be entering into the host cell through a vector. Through a vectorless method. So by the charged particles, it makes a temporary hole in the plasma membrane. As a result, the DNA can enter into the host cell. After that, just see the third diagram. The plasma membrane, they can heal the hole, or they can be regain its normal structure. This is looking similar to the first one. So this is called as the electroporation method. Again I am recalling it makes a temporary pore with the help of the charged particles, helpful for the delivering the gene of our interest. The next method is called as the same thing we are given here, expression of our DNA particles, how it is interacted into the bacteriophage. Then very important 3-mark question, liposome mediated gene transfers. Liposome, this is the artificial lipid molecules. We know about in the plasma membrane of plant cells, it is made up of lipid bilayer. Similarly, we are creating one lipid bilayer in the artificial manner, which is used for the gene transfer. So this gene of transfer method is mainly applicable in the plant cell. After creating the phospholipid membrane, our gene of interest or DNA is transferred from the liposome into the plant vacuole region. So after the insertion of liposome and directly enter into the vacuoles. Just observe the pictures now. So this is the phospholipid bilayer membrane. It is artificially produced by gene transferring method. It has the two regions. One is called the hydrophobic region and one is the hydrophilic region. Hydrophobic means it is towards the or against the water. Yes, it is the against the water molecules. Hydrophilic, that means towards the protein natures. Here, in which with the help of the PEG, the liposome mediated transfer is going to be happen. Let's see how it is going to happen inside the cell. So liposome, this is the artificial lipid phosphomembrane or vesicles in which our gene of interest, blue color DNA, is going to be inserted, which forms the lipoplex. So everything which takes place outside the cell membrane of the plant cell. So liposome is the artificial membrane in which our gene of interest is going to be inserted as a result to form the lipoplex. So this lipoplex can be entering into the host cell of the plant cell by means of creating some of the acidic pH and protease enzyme which is present in the vacuole regions. Once it is entering into the plant cell, because I already said this lipoplex inside the plant cell, first it can go to the vacuole region. Once it is going to the vacuole region, so previous diagram we saw about how the lipoplex is formed inside the cell. The lipoplex can directly entering into the vacuoles. In the vacuoles, two things are happened. One is called as production of acidic pH and production of protease enzyme. So these acid and protease enzyme, what it can do is it can break the lipoplex complex. Once the cell it is entrapped into the plant material, with the help of the enzymes and acid, the lipoplex is going to be break down. As a result, the DNA of our interest releasing the artificial plasma membrane, it can be entering the DNA molecule alone entering into the complex. This is one example for the endocytosis. That is, endo means inside, cytosis means cell breakdown. So once the cell which is entering into the cell, after delivering the GNA, the vacuole itself they can degrade the liposome what we are entering into the cell. So this method of transfer is called as a liposome mediated transfer. Again I am recalling that points, ma'am. It is the lipid made up of the molecules helpful to transfer the molecules into the plant cells. I already said it is an artificial membrane helpful for the delivering our gene of interest into the transverse cells. It is essential to delivering the cell with the help of the plasma membrane. It can create the charged particles helpful for the transferring the molecules. So this is the overall view of the liposome mediated transfer. Again I will recall, liposome is the artificial membrane in which our DNA is inserted. It becomes the lipoplex. This is outside the membrane, and through the charged particles directly it is entering into the vacuoles of the plant cell. In the vacuoles it is accepted, produces the two types of materials. One is called the acidic pH and another one is the protease membrane. So this makes the breakdown of the liposome material. As a result, the lipid membrane is breakdown. It can releasing the nucleus and the lysosome, that is the suicidal bag of the cell. DNA of our interest alone can be entering into the host cell, remaining everything is going to the suicidal cell. So through this method, our gene of interest to be transfer is called as a liposome mediated gene transfer. So far we are discussing about the direct gene transfer such as microinjection, liposome mediated transfer, and first we saw the chemical method also. And the last one is called as the biolistic gene gun method. So this is nothing but our alien DNA or foreign DNA. As I already said, it is coated with the either the gold particles or tungsten particles. The thickness is about only the 123 micrometer. Just observe the diagram. Our gene of interest is through the bombardment material is coated with the either gold or tungsten filament, and after the coating it should be delivered into the host cell by means of gene gun method. It's like a shooting process. So after coated with the materials, it should be delivered to the target cells by using the gene gun method or microprojectile method. It is also called as a shotgun method. As a result of this, the selected medium has the ability to regenerate the plants from the transferred cells. So our gene of interest coated with the gold particles or tungsten filament particles through the gun method is transferred into the plant cells. The plant cells has the ability to take the materials, and from that the plant cell can regenerate the new types of cells. So these are called as a particular, biolistic or gene gun or microprojectile gun method. So these are the different types of pictures which are representing the gene gun method.